Hello, Hilltop. It's Mr. Amici again, and it's a terrific Tuesday for some PE. Can any of you guess the sport or skill that we're going to be learning today? If you guess the sport of soccer, you're right. So today for our PE time, we're going to focus on learning some foot skills used in the sport of soccer, or in some places they call it football. But what we're going to do first is talk about what equipment we're going to need for today's lesson. If you noticed, I started out kicking a ball. So a ball is going to be the main focus of our lesson today. So you're going to try to want to find a ball that you have at home. Now there's many different varieties that you would be able to use today. I'll show you some examples right now. Something that we've used before, a yarn ball. And remember what a great substitute for a yarn ball would be? We would maybe roll up a few pairs of socks into a tight ball and you could use that. It would be a cloth ball. So you could roll up some socks that you could use. That would be just like our yarn ball. Or if you maybe have a small hard plastic ball at home, I've got like a wiffle ball right here, you could use that. For practicing our soccer skills, the size of the ball could be big or small. This would be a way to change the challenge level. So if you have a bigger ball, it would be a little bit easier for you to try to contact and control it. So maybe if soccer or foot skills is a newer thing for you, you might want to try to find a bigger ball to use. If you want to challenge yourself a little bit more, you could try to find a smaller one. Also, the firmness of the ball makes a difference too. If it's a hard plastic ball, it will roll a little bit faster. Or if it's a soft ball like this soccer ball I have here, it'll move a little bit slower. If you're using a ball that does take air inside of it, the more air you put into it, the harder the outside of the ball will become and the faster it'll move. So if you have a big ball that you're using and it's moving too fast, maybe try taking some of the air out or not put as much in. So that's a way you could change the challenge. You could also use a rubber playground ball. So you could use one of those and again, add more or less air to make it move faster or slower. Even if you have a ball for a different sport, like tennis, I've got a tennis ball here, that would work too. And remember, the smaller the ball, the more challenging it'll be to control. Ah, I knocked over my cone. But it will help you improve your skills, which is what we're here to do. But Mr. Amici, what if I don't have any of that stuff at home? I've got a plan for you. What I made here is actually a ball out of paper. We just started a new year, 2021, and what I did with an old calendar that wasn't good anymore for the year 2020 is I balled it up into a ball and then I wrapped a few pieces of tape around it to hold it together into a circle shape. So maybe if you have an old calendar from 2020, or we just finished our holiday season, so maybe you've got some wrapping paper laying around that's garbage, or you've got a bunch of recycled paper from things you've finished doing already. Maybe try to make it into a smaller or bigger ball, remember, depending on how much challenge you want. And you can put some tape around it if you'd need to. It'd probably stay together even without the tape, but this just makes it extra strong. Another idea for a homemade ball would be those plastic shopping bags that we've used for our juggling lesson, tossing and catching. So if you take a bunch of those plastic shopping bags and ball them up and maybe wrap some tape around that. So those are some options that you could use as a ball today. And then what we're going to need besides a ball are our 3 small cones or objects to try to practice some dribbling skills around. Now, we practiced some hockey dribbling last week. Remember, that was controlling the hockey puck or ball with a stick back and forth. We're going to do that same thing for soccer, but you use your feet instead. So we just need 3 objects for you to go around, between, and side to side from to practice some of our dribbling skills. So that could be 3 books you have standing upright. That could be 3 of your favorite stuffed animals that are just spaced out evenly on the floor. And then lastly, what we're going to need are some targets to kick at. I've got a variety of different targets set up on the wall over there. Our first one here, we remember this one from hockey last week, and that's just our standard goal. So if you have a play goal at home for either the sports of hockey or soccer, you could get that goal out to use. Another option, like we used last week, would be a bucket or a laundry bin or a toy basket that you would just lay sideways with the open end facing towards you, and that could be a goal or a target. I've got the hula hoop laying there. So that would be a target, remember, like we practiced with hockey also, where you want to get the ball to land or stop in that area. And if you don't have a hula hoop, remember you could lay out a towel or a blanket, and that would be like the landing zone target. And lastly, I've got two bigger cones that I would try to kick the ball and have it go between. So those would be the boundaries on the left and right side. And I could use that as my goal to try to kick the ball between, just like that. So it doesn't have to be a cone. You could again use maybe two tall books or any two objects that you have that you could stand up next or alongside each other. That would be okay to get bumped by our ball today. All right, what I'd like you to do is click completed for this tile, get your equipment ready, and then we'll see you on the next tile where we'll practice some dribbling skills with our soccer ball. We'll see you there. Go Hawks!